All right. Hey, how's everybody doing right now? So I want to address something that I saw today. I want to talk about it. Um so for those of you who don't know who Gene Simmons is, the lead singer of Kiss, okay? And he's totally fucking washed. But he made a video that has been making its rounds. It was released by TMZ, and I'm going to address it right now. What this fool said. So, as you can tell by the title, it says, "Hey, celebs, it's time to shut up about politics." All right. So, let's get into this. Let's listen to what he says here.
Ben Stiller is calling out the president, saying he doesn't want him to use his movie clips for war propaganda. I mean, it sounds like a lot of people are kind of, criticizing Trump, like Hollywood right now, over this war thing. Is that fair?
Yeah, because everybody in the world should listen to what actors and comedians say because they're so qualified. Basically, shut the f up. Do your art and shut up. Nobody's interested in your opinions. That includes me, who I vote for, who I like. Who the f do you think you are? People in America work hard for their living and they don't want to be lectured to by people who live in mansions and drive Rolls Royces. It's time for everybody in the entertainment industry to shut their pie hole and just do your art. Nobody cares what you think. I don't.
Okay.
What will Mark Ruffalo, however the f he pronounces his
Mark
name?
Ruffalo, yeah.
Well, good. Ruffalo, Buffalo. What does Mark think about politics? I don't care.
So you think celebrities should stay out of the politic talk?
Well, we both
don't...
agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Or go to Kylie Jenner and ask her what she thinks of the war so far.
I know right now.
Okay, so the reason why I played this is because this seems to be a sentiment that is often spoken by especially people on the right. Okay. Gene Simmons is obviously a Trump supporter. So he's, his comment has more to do, it's actually him giving his political opinion, which is that he doesn't like what a lot of things that actors like Mark Ruffalo say because he doesn't agree with it. So, hey, shut up. Nobody wants to hear it. Americans work hard for their living and they don't want to be lectured to by people who drive in mansions and Rolls Royces. Well, what if I were to propose the idea that what if people in mansions who drive Rolls Royces also don't want to be fucking lectured to by people who work hard for their living? What if both of those things are true? Okay. So the thing that people need to understand is that in America, nobody matters, but everybody counts. Everyone's opinion counts. It counts. Does it matter? No. Do you matter? No, not in the overall scheme of things. But do you count? Yes. 1,000%. So I don't give a shit if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're fucking fat, if you're skinny, if you're tall, if you're short, if you're gay, if you're straight, if you're trans, if you're any shade between the blackest of black to the whitest of white. I don't give a fuck if you're old, if you're young. I don't give a fuck if you're retired, if you're hardworking, if you're a billionaire, if you're a trust fund baby. I don't give a fuck what you are. If you're an American, you count. And you get to say what you think. And here's the problem. I'm on Facebook, social media, whatever, or not as much as I used to be. But when I've been on those apps and those platforms, I see people that are hardworking all the time that are running their mouth and giving their opinion on Facebook and on social media and Instagram daily. So what makes them more important than a celebrity? What makes it so that, well, they should be allowed to give their opinions and spew their bullshit on social media all day. But a celebrity, oh, shut up. Why? Because they have more followers? Because more people care about what they say? Well, that's too fucking bad. That's too fucking bad, because there are celebrities, many, who are also Trump supporters and MAGA supporters that also have millions of followers. Okay? I mean, we just saw what happened with Kid Rock in the whole, they had a whole fucking Super Bowl on their own. They got their celebrities. So at the end of the day, anybody telling anybody else to shut up because nobody cares what you say for any reason, that's un-American. For any reason. Period. If you are an American, you have a say. You count. Do you matter? No. No, you don't. Nobody does. It doesn't really fucking matter who you are. You don't matter. There are people that are rich and in positions of power who like to think that they matter. Oh, they love to think that they matter, but they don't. Because in the end, nobody does. In the end, you're just going to die and go into the dustbin of history as somebody who existed once in this country. And maybe if you're famous, people will talk about you for a little while, and then eventually nobody will give a fuck. And eventually there'll be all these new people on this earth that don't give a fuck. That's already happening now. I mean, my 12-year-old son doesn't give a fuck about, Humphrey Bogart. He doesn't even know who the fuck he is. Now, granted, for a good 50 years after Humphrey Bogart died, people talked about Humphrey Bogart. He was a legend. Marilyn Monroe. My son doesn't even fucking know who that is. He doesn't give a fuck who that is. So the bottom line is, Sherry Eaton, anyone can talk. I just decided who I listen to. Absolutely. Anyone can talk. Anyone's allowed to say whatever the fuck they want. And you're allowed, if you have a platform, then, oh well, a lot of people are going to hear what you say. A lot of people didn't like what Charlie Kirk was saying. And they didn't like that he had a platform. They didn't like that he would go to colleges and be able to speak and have 5,000 college kids standing around listening to the bullshit that was coming out of his mouth. But guess what? That was too fucking bad. We don't have any power over that. Because in America, you, if you are American, have a fucking say. And you count. And your voice counts. And the shit that comes out of it counts. Again, does it matter? No. There's a big fucking difference between counting and mattering. There's a big difference. So anybody who wants to think that they matter for whatever reason, you don't. I don't give a fuck if you're disabled. I don't care if you grew up rough or had a terrible upbringing. So did I. Who gives a shit? I don't matter. And I can admit that. I don't matter to anybody. No one gives a fuck how you grew up. No one gives a fuck what you went through. No one gives a fuck. Okay? So the truth of the matter is that you're another fucking person walking around, breathing air, eating shit, eating food, converting it in your guts and shitting it out your asshole, just like everybody else. You're just consuming and shitting and breathing, just like everybody else. And the bottom line is that the problem that we have is too many fucking people want to form groups and act like somehow whatever their group is, that they're so fucking special. You're not. You're not special because you're white. You're not special because you're black. You're not special because you're straight. And you're not special because you're gay. Nothing about anybody makes you fucking special. You're just another fucking person with an opinion, with thoughts, with shit you're going to go through. You're going to feel pain like everybody else. You're going to suffer to some degree like everybody else. And in the end, it doesn't matter. You don't matter. I don't matter. Nobody does. But as long as you are alive and you live in the borders of this fucking country, no matter what you choose to live your life like, no matter what culture you belong to, no matter what lifestyle you adopt, You want to be a single mom and go out every Friday night and fuck every fucking dude that you meet in the bar? That's your prerogative. You want to be a married woman who's faithful and goes to church every Sunday? It's your fucking prerogative. You want to be a lawyer who joins a golf course and drives a Mercedes? Okay. You want to be a hipster, or a hippie who just gets high and says fuck life and society and doesn't ever want to work a job and just wants to go live in a tent somewhere in the woods and not partake in society? That's your prerogative. But guess what? Every single person that I just mentioned, if you're an American citizen and you live in this country, you have a say. And you get to have an opinion. And does your opinion matter? Probably not. It doesn't to anybody. We all know that. But you do count. And so this idea, this us versus them mentality that this fucking washed up shitbag is trying to project into society, this washed up shitbag is projecting the exact mentality that is corrosive, that is divisive, and that is ruining and tearing apart the fabric of everything that this country stands for. Because nothing screams pro-fascist than telling people that you don't agree with to shut up. Telling them nobody wants to hear what you have to say. That's probably true. Nobody wants to fucking hear what he has to say either. But that's not the point. The point is that in America, you get to say it. And if you have a bigger platform than somebody else, that's just too fucking bad. You did whatever you had to do to get one, and people are just going to have to eat dog balls because you get to say whatever you want, and more people get to hear it because you worked your ass off for your platform, and oh fucking well. It's how the cookie crumbles. And there are people who are Nazis that have platforms. There are people who are hardcore fucking right-wing MAGAs that have platforms. Then there's hardcore people that are pro-Israel that have platforms. There's hardcore people that are fucking pro-Palestine and fucking, that also have gigantic platform. Everybody can have a platform. So this idea, like nobody wants to be lectured to because people have money. Yeah, and rich people don't want to be lectured to either because people don't, by people because they don't have money. No, just because you're broke and you didn't succeed and you don't have a platform and you don't have money doesn't mean that your opinion and what you think about life has more validity than somebody who has a mansion. If you ask me, I'd be more willing to listen to somebody that has a mansion because at least I know they must know something if they succeeded. Because it's very difficult to succeed in the United States. It's very difficult in 2026 to become a millionaire. It's not fucking easy. It's not easy to become famous. It's not easy to become successful and travel the world and go here and go there and the hard work that comes along with it. It's like this idea that, oh, they're actors. Who cares? Oh, they went and played fucking make-believe in front of a camera. And so that means that they're that somehow, they don't work hard. Oh, they don't? They don't? You don't think it's hard to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make sure that you travel to New York on a fucking on a fucking puddle jumper because you got to appear on a late night TV show and do an interview, and then when you get home you can't even sleep 3 hours at your hotel because you got to get on a plane and take a red eye to Florida because you got a live show down in Tampa, and you don't this is the life. You got to get up and move and go and this and that. You think it's easy doing interview after interview, paparazzi in your face. You have no personal life. You have to work. You have to perform. You have to do a show, another interview, another live performance. You think it's fucking easy? No, it's not easy. It's not any easier than the guy who gets up and works on fucking cars all day long. Or the girl that goes to Dunkin' Donuts and has to fucking deal with attitude from idiots that want fucking 3 sugars and 2 creamers in their coffee. And this is, I said 2 creamers. I said 2 creamers and 3 sugars, not fucking 3 creamers and 2 sugars. You said it wrong, and now it's over creamed. You know what I mean? People putting up with that bullshit all day, okay? It's all the same shit. It doesn't fucking matter if you're wealthy or if you're not. No one's opinion is more valuable than anybody else's. And if you want to really be a true American, If you really want to be a true American of what it means to actually be American, it's to understand that every fucking person here is entitled to a say. They are entitled to that because they live here and they are a citizen here and they have a fucking right to a say. Period. That's just the bottom fucking line, whether you like it or not. And if you really want to know the truth, there is a reason why we're all at each other's throats. Because the billionaire oligarch tech class that is behind social media, that now owns all the legacy media, like Larry Ellison, the people that are in control of this stuff, they're the ones that are pumping misinformation and allowing misinformation and false bullshit to spread all over social media so that you and your uncle who supports MAGA, or maybe you and your niece who is a hardcore liberal with green dyed hair that goes to college and is out protesting every day, you guys are at each other's throats wanting to kill each other because of this divisive bullshit that billionaires are getting stupid wealthy off of while they're keeping all of you completely not looking at the real fucking problem. And this idea that everyone should shut up who disagrees with me is only feeding into that exact game that these guys want you to keep playing. So, if we realize that everybody in America counts, but nobody matters, it helps. It'll actually allow us to maybe unify around that idea. And if we unify around that idea, then we can focus on the real problem, which are the people that are cutting your health care, that are cutting your welfare, that are not paying you enough to live, that are jacking up your rent, jacking up mortgage prices, that are making life incredibly difficult for you while they own 6 more yachts. And that's what we need to be focused on. Period. Idiots like this fucking moron, this dumbass idiot, don't be like that. This is a raggedy, crotchety, dusty, musty, crusty, rusty ass, washed up rock star with a bad attitude who has hate in his heart and is just a part of the problem. Anyway, my name is Tom Kane, and this is another episode of the Executives Playbook, coming to you live and direct. I'm going to be honest with a lot of you before I go today. I've been trying to hold back my thoughts politically because this show is going to be about interviewing people who are in business and so forth. And I've been worried about people not liking things I say politically and then that becoming a problem because they might not want to come on the show. I don't care anymore. I'm going to say what I want to say and I don't give a shit anymore. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Anyways, like the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. I love giving you guys, some entertainment every day. Hopefully it's entertaining. Leave a comment always if you disagree, if you agree. Doesn't really matter. Love to hear from you. And that's all I got. All right. See you guys tomorrow.